Hello medicos, welcome to my YouTube channel Medic Talks. So today we are going to learn spinal cord. Now, the spinal cord is situated in the vertebral canal and it extends from the foramen magnum below the medulla oblongata to the lower border of first lumbar vertebra. Now it is covered by meninges, dura mater, pia mater and arachnoid mater which protects it and gives it the nourishment. Now shape of the spinal cord is cylindrical. It is 45 cm long in males, whereas in females it is only 43 cm. Now there are two enlargements in the spinal cord, which are cervical enlargement and lumbar enlargement. Below the lumbar enlargement, spinal cord terminates in a cone-shaped structures known as conum medullaris, and below this conum medullaris there is a non-nervous structure known as filum terminale. Now segments of the spinal cord. The spinal cord is having 31 segments, and from these segments 31 pairs of spinal cord arise. 8 pairs from cervical side, 12 pairs from the thoracic spinal cord, 5 pairs from the lumbar spinal cord, 5 pairs from the sacral spinal cord and 1 pair from the coccygeal part of the spinal cord. Spinal nerve roots. Posterior or dorsal root formed by afferent sensory nerve fibers carrying sensory information from different parts of the body to the spinal cord and brain. The root is having a small bulging known as posterior root ganglion. Anterior or ventral root formed by efferent motor fibers that carry motor information from brain and spinal cord to the different parts of the body. Now spinal nerve plexuses. Cervical plexus formed by anterior rami of first to fourth cervical spinal nerves. It supplies the head, neck, shoulder and chest. Brachial plexus is formed by anterior rami of fifth to eighth cervical and first thoracic nerves. It gives rise to 5 nerves: musculocutaneous nerve, axillary nerve, radial nerve, medial nerve and ulnar nerve. It supplies hand, arm, chest and shoulder. Lumbar plexus formed by anterior rami of first to fourth lumbar spinal nerves. It supplies anterior lateral part of abdominal wall, external genitalia and part of lower limb. Sacral plexus formed by anterior rami of fourth and fifth lumbar nerves and first to fourth sacral nerves. It supplies buttocks, perineum and lower limbs. Coccygeal plexus formed by anterior rami of fourth and fifth sacral nerves and coccygeal nerve. It supplies coccygeal region. Intercostal nerves formed by anterior rami of second to 12th thoracic nerves and they supply intercostal area. Fissure and sulci in the spinal cord. In the anterior surface there is deep furrow known as anterior median fissure. Its depth is about 3 mm. Lateral to this is anterolateral sulcus, which denotes the exit of anterior nerve root. Now, on the posterior aspect, there is a depression called posterior median sulcus. It is continuous with thin glial partition known as posterior median septum. It extends inside the spinal cord about 5 mm and reaches grey matter. Now, on the either side, lateral to posterior median sulcus, there is posterior intermediate sulcus. It is continuous with posterior intermediate septum, which extends for about 3 mm into the spinal cord. Lateral to this is posterolateral sulcus, which denotes the entry of posterior nerve root. Grey matter of the spinal cord. Now, grey matter is placed centrally in the form of wings of butterfly and it resembles the letter H. Exactly in the center, there is spinal canal. Anterior and posterior portion of each lateral half of grey matter are called anterior and dorsal or posterior grey horns respectively. In addition, there is lateral grey horn. Now, part of the grey matter anterior to central canal is called the anterior grey commissure, and part of grey matter posterior to it is called posterior grey commissure. Organization of neurons in the grey matter. Organization of neurons in grey matter of spinal cord is described in two methods, nuclei and laminae. Now first is nuclei. Nuclei in anterior grey horn are alpha motor neurons, gamma motor neurons and Rancho cells. Nuclei of lateral grey horn has intermediolateral nucleus. Now nuclei in posterior grey horn, they are marginal nucleus, substantia gelatinosa of Rolando, chief sensory nucleus and dorsal nucleus of Clark. Now laminas, lamina 1 to 6 constitute the posterior grey horn. Lateral grey horn contains lamina 7. Lamina 8 and lamina 9 form the anterior grey horn, and lamina 10 is around the spinal canal. Now we will learn the most important part of the spinal cord, which are tracts of the spinal cord. So spinal cord is having short tracts and long tracts. There are two types of long tracts, which are ascending tracts and descending tracts. Ascending tracts carry the sensory impulses from spinal cord to the brain, and descending tracts carry the motor impulses from the brain to the spinal cord. Now first of all we will consider the ascending tracts. So ascending tracts carry the impulses of different sensation from the spinal cord to the brain. Now pathway for each sensation is formed by two or more group of neurons, which are first order neurons, second order neurons and third order neurons. The first order neurons. So the axons are from the periphery and the nerve cell bodies are situated in the posterior nerve root ganglia. The second order neurons are the ascending tracts situated in the spinal cord, and the third order neurons are situated in the subcortical areas of the brain. Now we will learn the anterior spinothalamic tract, which is situated in anterior white funiculus. Now, the fibers of second order neurons are originated from chief sensory nucleus of the spinal cord. After taking origin, the fibers cross the midline of the spinal cord. They go to the opposite side of the spinal cord. From here, the second order neurons ascends through the different segments of the spinal cord, brainstem, and finally they terminate in the thalamus. From thalamus, the third order neurons are originated and they go to sensory cortex of the brain. Now, the function of this tract is they carry the impulses of crude touch. Now, the lateral spinothalamic tract, which is situated in the lateral column. The second order neurons are generated from substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. Now, after taking origin, these fibers too cross the midline and goes to the opposite side. Now, the second order neurons ascends through the different segments of the spinal cord and they go to the thalamus. Here they are terminated and from there the third order neurons are generated which go to the sensory cortex of the brain. Now this lateral spinothalamic tract creates spinal lemniscus below the medulla oblongata with the fibers of anterior spinothalamic tract. This lateral spinothalamic tract carries the impulses of pain and temperature. Now we will learn the ventral spinocerebellar tract, which is also known as Gower tract or indirect spinocerebellar tract or anterior spinocerebellar tract. It is situated in the lateral column of the spinal cord. The fibers are arising from the marginal nucleus of the spinal cord. Now this tract contains crossed and uncrossed fibers. Most of the fibers crosses the midline and goes to the opposite side. From here, they ascend through the different sections of the spinal cord, midbrain, and then finally they are terminating into the cerebellum. They carry the impulses of subconscious kinesthetic sensation, which are the impulses from muscles and tendons, which are also known as proprioceptors. Now, the dorsal spinocerebellar tract, which is also known as flaccid tract or direct spinocerebellar tract or posterior spinocerebellar tract. It is also situated in the lateral column. Now, the fibers are generated from the Clark nucleus. Now, these tract fibers do not cross the midline. After taking its origin, they go to the same side, they ascend through the same side of the spinal cord, then midbrain, pons and medulla, and then finally they are terminating into cerebellum. They also carry the subconscious kinesthetic sensations. The tract of fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus. Fasciculus gracilis is also known as tract of Gall and fasciculus cuneatus is known as tract of Barda. They both are known as posterior column tracts of spinal cord. Now, the first order neurons are the axons which enter the spinal cord. They do not cross the midline and ascends through the different segments of the spinal cord on the same side. They are terminated in the medulla oblongata. Now, fasciculus gracilis contains the fibers from the lower part of the body, whereas fasciculus cuneatus contains the fibers from the upper part of the body. In medulla oblongata, the tract or fibers of the fasciculus gracilis, they terminate in the nucleus gracilis and the fibers of the fasciculus cuneatus terminate in the nucleus cuneatus. From here, the second order neurons are originated. Now, these second order neurons are known as arcuate fibers. These arcuate fibers cross the midline and they form the sensory decussation. On the other side, they ascend in the form of spinal lemniscus from pons and midbrain, and finally they terminate in the thalamus. Now, the function of these two tracts are fine tactile sensation, tactile localization, tactile discrimination, sensation of vibration, conscious kinesthetic sensation and stereognosis. Now we will consider the descending tract of the spinal cord. Now, descending tracts carry the motor impulses from brain to the spinal cord. They are of two types, pyramidal tracts and extrapyramidal tracts. We will consider the pyramidal tracts first. Now, pyramidal tracts originated from giant cells or bed cells or pyramidal cells which are situated in the area number 4 of primary motor cortex. Then they are originated from area number 6 of premotor cortex and supplementary area, different parts of the frontal lobe and parietal lobe. After taking their origin, they run downwards and converge in a fan-like structure which is known as corona radiata. Corona radiata run downwards and they converge into a structure known as internal capsule. This internal capsule is situated between the thalamus and caudate nucleus. They pass through the pons and medulla oblongata. In medulla oblongata, these fibers give the appearance of pyramid. Therefore, this tract is known as pyramidal tract. In the lower border of medulla oblongata, they are divided in unequal size. 80% of the fibers goes to the opposite side, whereas 20% of the fibers do not cross the midline. The fibers which cross the midline from both the sides creates pyramidal decussation. The 80% fibers which have crossed the midline goes to lateral column and are known as lateral corticospinal tract, and remaining 20% fibers which do not cross the midline, they goes to the anterior column and known as anterior corticospinal tract. Now, this corticospinal tract terminate on the alpha motor neuron of anterior gray horn, and they are associated with movements of the body. We are finishing the lecture of spinal cord here. Please like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Medic Talks. If you want to learn any topic, you can comment in the comment box. Thank you very much.